connection is intermittent, no? Kakayanin natin yan, no? Okay, so anyway, so I would like to welcome you to the lecture class of the inorganic and organic chemistry, no? So yun, so I will be your instructor in the lecture, no? So I di ba? Sensya na for that, no? Yan, so that's my, information lang, no? So, I am a BS chemistry graduate, no? And I'm a chemist, no? So, I have been teaching for about 2 years, no? After my graduation in 2018, no? I started teaching at PUP, familiar kayo dyan. Some of you may have taken your senior high here, no? So, yeah. So, I've been teaching senior high school and college courses, no, sa PUP. So, nagturo ako sa engineering, chemistry for engineers, and biochemistry for food technology students, no. Then the rest is just senior high school. Okay. Then I moved dito sa Far Eastern University just early this year, no, before the pandemic struck, no. So yun. So yun. So if you have any concerns, no, just feel free to message me on my email. And yan. So any platforms naman, maybe you can message me here on Microsoft Teams, on social media, up to you. No? So yun. So let's do the slides quickly. No. So the purpose of this course, no, is for you to understand more, to recall all the general chemistry ideas, no? Kasi I know some of you have forgotten all those ideas already, so we are going to re-strengthen all those ideas because those are very needed in your profession, no? Without the understanding of chemistry, you will fail to understand your future subjects, no? Biochemistry, clinical chemistry, and other subjects that requires chemistry. No? So, yun. And yun, kasama sa boards nyo yung clinical chemistry. No? So, before you take your clinical chemistry, you first have to pass the inorganic, organic, the anachem, and the biochemistry. No? So, medyo marami pa kayong dadaanan before you have to strengthen this foundation. No? So, anyone in the science field and the health field, no, even the engineering field, no, we really need an understanding of chemistry in a much better scale, no. So yun lang, our purpose or our objectives is yun, for us to recall all the laws that govern the existence of matter and the reason why they behave that way, no. So more on chemical reactivities, they can be predicted as long as you know the rules, no. You know the laws about them. And yun, what else, no? Yun, for us to apply all the ideas we learn in real life situations, especially we can see chemistry is being used, no, together with the other fields, of course, no, but chemistry is being used, no, to understand COVID-19, no, so to understand the genome sequence of the virus and what are the processes needed to formulate vaccines, or what are the reasons behind or the principles behind the precautionary measures such as using alcohol, using soap, no? They can be explained by chemistry as well. No? And the ultimate objective of this course is for you to be able to communicate with your peers, no? Especially when you are in your professional world na, when you started working, you will be dealing with lots of professions, no? that are experts in their subject matter. For example, medical technologies may work on hand with the doctors, with the pharmacists, with the chemists, biochemists, no, biotechnologists, no, so on and so forth, no. So we all work collaboratively in order to make this world bearable to live, no. So better to make this world a better place to live in. So yun. So when we communicate to one another, we need special terms that only us can understand, no. So yun, mga jargons as we say. So, doon mga nasa profession. So, through this course, no, we will, you will be able to know kung ano ba yung mga meaning ng ganito, ganyan, no? So on and so forth, no. For you to be guided kung ano yung magiging expectations nyo in the future, no. For you to be guided kung ano yung definition, so on and so forth, ano kaya yung sinasabi ng tao na to, vice versa, no. So yun yung idea, no. And you know, the course materials, I know Ma'am MD discuss this to you, no. So we need a textbook, no. Yun, so I need a textbook. Ano siya, you have to purchase them on Tam's bookstore or the CNE, no. The guidelines are already posted, and yun, no. You have to use the access code. Ano pa rin makukuha nyo sa Tam's bookstore? Access code, then ebook only, no. So yun lang. Wala siyang physical book this time because of logistics ng COVID-19, no. Medyo matagal, no, mahaba-haba yung processing. So yun, ang ginawa na lang nila is yun nga, nasan po yung access code. Maybe you can ask the supplier, no, or the seller, no, kasi I personally do not know, no, kung paano yung process nila ng bentahan. So if you want to ask questions about the purchasing, no, so you can ask Tom's bookstore, or you can check on Miss pangalan niya, yung shinare ko sa, no, basta yun, si Ma'am Patricia, si Miss Patricia, no? So nandun yung email niya. You can also ask, no, regarding kung ano po yung ganito ganyan, so on and so forth, no? So yun, so she will willfully guide you, no, when you so on and so forth, no? So yun, so that's the idea. So yun, gagastos tayo on no, and you will use this naman for 2 years, no. So the first year would be on this course, no. So itong inorganic and organic chemistry, no. Then the second time that you will use that codes, no, will be on second year sa biochemistry subjects, yeah. So yun. So when you have your access to this, no, so you just revisit the video that you can find and that you can see on Canvas, so on and so forth, or you can ask Miss Patricia about this, no. So yeah, so you have to log into your Canvas account, look for your course, look for your section, so on and so forth, no. With regards to sa instructor, no, kasi nagkaroon ng change, no. I'm still yet to hear a word, no, from Miss Patricia. Kasi originally, you were tagged kay Sir Taroy. But yun nga, there was a shift in instructors, no? So, mapupunta dapat kayo sa akin. Yet as I check my Cengage account, no, wala pa yung sections nyo. But don't worry pag meron na, no? Okay. So, kahit third week na next week, no, hindi pa naman ako magpapa-assessment, no, kasi we're still equilibrating with our systems, no, mga nangyayari ngayon. So, yeah. So, adjust pa muna tayo. Okay, so course requirements, no? So for your course requirements, for your laboratory kay Ma'am Perales, no? You have 10 quizzes, no? 5 each for the lecture, for the midterm and the final period, no? But for my case, no, lecture, I will give you 12 quizzes, no? So 6 quizzes per period, no? So 6 quizzes on the midterm, 6 quizzes on the finals, no? Then what else, no? So that is the formative assessment requirement for this course. For the summative, this is just the midterm and the final exam, no? So for the quizzes sa lecture, that is maximum of 20 points, no? So pwedeng 5 items, 4 points each. Pwedeng 10 items, 2 points each, or 20 items, 1 point each, no? So ganun yung dynamics ng ating assessment, no? So that's for the formative part. But for the summative part, this is 100 points in total, no? But not necessarily 100 items. So we can have 50 items, 2 points each, no? So yun. So when computing for your grade, no, the final grade that will be encoded in your student central would be the sum of the lecture and the lab component, no? So tig 50 kami ni Ma'am MD. So the first 50% will be sa lecture. So I will give these grades to you depending on your performance, no, on your scores, no. So when computing for the lecture grade, the lecture component, so 50-50, si formative and the summative, no. I would like to emphasize the weight of the summative assessment because it is 50%, no. One single exam is equivalent to half of your grade, no. Kasi exam siya, no. So yun. So you really have to work hard, no. I don't want you to work hard pala, no. Work smart, no. So kailangan matalino tayo. So I want you to work smart, no, on how to deal with such problems in this course, no, how to work around the problems, no, to come up with a better solution, so on and so forth. No? So I want you to be aware of the weight of your summative assessment, no? Because the formative assessment, no, you can pwede ka bumawi, no, so yun. Pero for summative, no, yun. So, warning na lang, no? Na, or reminder na lang, no? To do your best, no? Okay. So, sige. For this laboratory component naman, the other half of your final grade, no? That is also 50-50, no? So, 50% for your formative and the 50% for the summative, no? And yun, I know, alam niyo na to, the student-centered learning process, no? So, what happens in the student-centered learning process is that you are more given power in managing your schedule sa pag-aaral, no? So you have more power, you have more control with your preferences on the class executions or mga schedules, no? So with that, no, we uploaded all the materials, no? All the course materials are uploaded in Canvas, no? You can download them all, no? So yun. Pero as for my case, no, I would like to meet you on a regular basis, no? If kailangan talaga, no? Yun. So, yun. So far, yun. So, kailangan ma-meet ko kayo. Kasi mas feel ko yung ganong learning eh. Pero up to you, no? You can attend or you can skip the class, no? We have the recording of the session naman, no? So anyway, so basta yan na, we will feel the student-centered learning more when we go back to our campus, no? So yun. Pero that's the idea. More power to you. To process, no? Okay, so hindi lang kami yung nagtuturo. You also study on yourself, no? You also learn from yourself na rin, no? So yun, kasi we are becoming the facilitators of learning rather than the primary source of learning. No? So, hindi lang kami one way. Hindi na tayo one way, no? Na ako, sasabihin ko to sa inyo. Gagawin ng student-centered is dynamic process tayo. You learn from me, I learn from you, so on and so forth. Okay, so for this course, this is the schedule, no? Alam ko, familiar na kayo dyan. So for this week, second week tayo, later on we will discuss the introduction to chemistry. This is just a very brief discussion. No? Mabilis lang to. So yan. By next week, no, we will proceed with matter and the periodic table, then chemical bonding, nomenclature, solids, gases, so on. Then we will have the midterm exam on the 9th week, no, which is kailan ba yun? October. So October 12 to 17. Okay. So for the finals, we will start our organic chemistry part, no. Not all of you, no, I'm sure not all of you knows the organic chemistry, no. Kasi in senior high school, no, the subject, the Gen Chem subject is very, very compressed, no, in such way that you cannot incorporate the organic chemistry too much, no. Hindi na siya kasya eh, no. So, ito yung purpose kaya may college, no. So, we can discuss the organic chemistry because as long as you understand your organic chemistry, you're good to go with your future chemistry subs. So we study the history of our organic. We will proceed with much more technical ideas about them. And we will have the final examination. This was, I don't know, the change of schedule for the final exam, I believe approved na siya, no? So instead of having it on the 18th week, 17th week na siya, no? Ayan, so, but anyway, kaya yan, no? And this is the schedule for activity, your assessments, no? Again, these are tentative schedules, no? So, I will announce the schedule for the lecture and schedule for the lecture quizzes, no? So, yeah. So, remember, I told you earlier that we have 6 assessments per period. 6 for the midterm, 6 for the finals, no? Pero nakikita nyo, we only have 5 chapters each, no? Because there will be chapters na that will require 2 quizzes, no? 2 assessments, no? So what are those chapters? Chapter 4. So that is chapter 4, stoichiometry, chemical reactions. So you have to do 2 quizzes on that topic because this is very necessary, you know, especially when you study your analytical chemistry next semester, no? Hopefully in face-to-face mode na, no? Then, for the last part, I may give you 2 quizzes for chapter 6, no? This is the organic chemistry introduction part, no? Just to make sure that you really understand this lesson para good to go tayo with the rest of your lessons. No? So, yun. What else? No? The passing grade is 50%. No? So, if you get 50% in all your assessment, then that translates to 50% final grade. No? But that corresponds to a grade of D, no? Or uno. Baliktad dito, no? Pag uno kasi sa ibang university, yun yung highest, di ba? Pero dito, yung uno, yun yung lowest, no? Other than the failing mark. So I hope, no, na you do not settle for the 50%, no? You should go for higher marks, no? So, yeah. So just perform well, no? If you have clarifications on the subject matter, don't hesitate to ask it right away, no? So we can clarify that. Para pagdating ng final guide, walang sisihan na. So, yun. Pero don't worry, as much as possible, I try to be generous with the grades, no? Depending on the performance of the students, no? So, yun, ako naman, graduate ako with, with honors. So, as much as possible, gusto ko rin sana kayo, ganun, no? Pero, yun nga, you cannot get what you want without doing anything about it, no? So yun, you really have to um, you really have to prove na kaya nyo siya, no? So yun lang. I-guide ko naman kayo, don't worry. Hands-on tayo. Okay, so classroom policies, no? So I really appreciate that you are in this chat box, no? You are in this group chat, in this conference earlier, no? Than expected time. Okay, so pwede naman kahit on time na mismo kayo, no? Especially if you have classes early, no? If you have early classes, no? That's understandable. Kung may late, okay lang. If you cannot attend, then you can watch the recording naman, no? So, yan. So, another policy would be, ayun, no? Please be professional, no? And maintain your academic integrity. Okay, so be honest, no? Do not cheat, no? Especially all assessments are done online, no? Then on the one downside, the online learning system is that it is prone to cheating, no? So, yun. So, hopefully, hindi tayo ganun, no? So, hopefully, maniwala tayo sa sarili natin, no? So, maniwala lang kayo sa sarili nyo na you know this lesson. I know I can answer this perfectly, no? I can answer this with ease, no? Ayan. Because if you can't believe in yourself, then, ayun, no? Medyo mahirap yun. Kailangan maniwala kayo sa sarili nyo. And then, the rest will just follow, no? Yung boards, papasa na kayo niyan. Basta naniniwala kayo sa sarili nyo. Magiging medtech kayo, maniwala lang sa sarili. At wag po kopya. Okay? So, honest tayo. And persons of integrity. Kailangan may integridad, no? Okay, so yun nga. Ako, sabi ko rin kanina, no? You can download your course materials as they are already posted on Canvas, no? So you can study in advance, no? Kung meron dito nag-study na ng chapter 10, edi good, no? Pero yun, you can study in advance, no? Anytime you want. So, especially on Monday, holiday siya. So, I hope wag muna tayong mag-Among Us. No? Kasi ako parati ako nahuhuli dun eh. But anyway, so yun. Hopefully, we use our vacant days, no? Para maging productive. So yun. You can watch the videos, no? Study in advance, no? Para madali yung discussion natin. So, yun, manage your times wisely because now we are at home, we are at our comfort zone, no? So there is no distinction anymore between your school life and your life sa bahay, no? Your personal life, no? So pag naghalo yung dalawang yun, may malulugi, merong hindi malulugi, no? But it is our goal, no, to keep balance, no? Kailangan walang malugi, no? Kailangan walang mas manaig, no? So we make sure that our academic life, no, is in balance with our personal life, no? Pwede pa rin naman mag-ML, wag lang sa klase, no? Pwede pa rin naman mag-Among Us, basta wag lang din sa klase, no? Yan. And make sure na bago maglaro, you study your subject matter, no? Ayan. So yun, para high honors din kayo pagka-graduate, no? And with that, no, so that ends our introduction part, the orientation part rather, no? So yan, so if you have questions, you can ask me na, no? Kasi this is your first time, no, meeting me. Kaya sige lang, tanong na po yung mga gustong magtanong before we proceed with our next discussion. Any questions? Gising pa naman po kayo, no?
Opo.
Ay, gising pa naman. So, do you have any questions po? Okay, so if you have any questions, clarifications, no, you can ask me. Wala pa naman. Pwede kayong mag-message sa chat, no? O, sige. So, feeling ko okay pa naman tayo. So, I can proceed with... Ano yun? Ano sabi? Teka lang. Wala pa naman po sa ngayon, sir. Sige po. So, sige. Ano nangyari sa webcam ko? Ayan na. Sige. So, let's proceed with our first chapter, no? So, as I told you, introduction part to, no? You can actually just read this, no? But I want to share my insights with you, no? Just for us to appreciate chemistry, no? Para makita natin yung, useful pala si chemistry, hindi lang siya kahirap, no? So, yun, no? So, what is chemistry, no? So, sabi dito, central science, because yes, it is the central science, no? All other fields of profession, no? Pag trinace down mo yan, babalik ka rin sa chemistry. Mamaya pakita natin, no? But anyway, what is chemistry, no? So chemistry is defined as the study of matter and changes in that it undergoes, no? So when you say matter, that is everything, no, anything that occupies space and has mass, no? So with this meaning, sabi natin anything that occupies space and has mass, no? That means that matter is everything around us. Okay? If chemistry is the study of matter and matter is everything around us, then chemistry is the study of everything. So yun, and gusto ko i-point out, no? That when we study chemistry, we're not just limited, no? Sa pictures na may lab gown na nasa laboratory lang. No, no. We are actually studying everything, no? Lahat ng pwede, lahat ng posible sa Earth, no? So, yun. So, we can study the stars, no? Akala nyo, physicist lang yan. May chemist din doon, no? In certain planets, no? They want to identify elemental composition of a star, no? Kailangan may chemistry concepts doon, no? So, yun. So, ibig sabihin, chemistry is chemistry tries to understand everything as well, no? So, para silang pair ng physics, no? So, yun. They try to study chemistry is that it understand the behavior of matter and how it changes over time with certain conditions, no? So, yun. So, again, no? Maaral natin. Okay. Maaral natin yung mga gusto natin aralin with chemistry, no? So, okay. So, with that reason, no? Okay. With that reason, sinabi nila na chemistry is the central science. Kaya sabi ko nga, no, all other fields of study, all other fields, or all other professions, pag trinace down mo yan, may chemistry sa mga concepts doon. For biology, so biology, they understand the behavior of different substances when it comes to your body systems, no? Kunwari, kumain ka ng ganito, bakit kaya ganito? Kasama rin doon yung pag-aaral ng genome sequence, no? For example, the COVID-19, how are they able to come up with this genome sequence, no? For example din, sa COVID-19 na naman, the mutation, no? Bakit daw may mutation in the 614th gene sequence, no? So, paano kaya nila nalaman yung mga bagay na yun, no? What they did is they applied chemistry, no? To further understand yung biological processes in humans, in things, no? Mga animals, no? Plants. So, yun. So, chemistry yung sasagot doon, no? Bakit nabubuhay, ano? Paano nasusustain ang life, no? Ano yung effect ng sequence na yun, no? So, yun. So, chemistry, yung mga ideas behind that, no? So, for physics, no? Sabi ko nga, chemistry and physics are tandems, no? Because yun, we are both curious about everything in this universe, no? So chemistry develops a deeper understanding why, no? And physics discovers, no, kung ano yung mga bagay-bagay na ganito ganyan. No? So yun. So partner-partner sila. Geology, yung mga bato-bato, no? For example, you want to extract materials, no? Ore, no? You're going to make, you're going to mine diamonds or gold, no? So, in order to extract those precious elements, no, na mamahaling elements, you have to use chemistry, no, chemical reactions, no, to get those stuff, no. Yun ba, no. So, yun lang idea, no, that in all fields of sciences and applied sciences, such as health field, no, the health field, like medical technology, you can still trace back that yung ideas presented to you by your future subjects, may kinalaman si chemistry doon, no? Kung paano nila na-discover yung ganito ganyan ng matter. No? So, yun yung idea. So, chemistry understands everything. Chemistry is the center of everything as well. No? So, yun. So, yun. So, ngayon, why do we need to study chemistry? Because our life is directly affected by chemistry, no? In our foods, no? May chemistry yan, the GMOs, no? That is the application of chemistry sa biotechnology, no? So when biotechnology pairs up with chemistry, they produce GMOs, no? They modify the genetic sequence of plants and animals, producing an edit of crops, no? So that's also possible through the help of GMO. So whenever you hear na someone against the GMOs, no, they are most probably not informed about the good side of GMOs, no. Kasi ano yung nangyayari, no? In the past couple of years, no, almost a century ago, okay lang naman sa akin watermelon at my favorite food, but yeah, okay lang. Kumakain akong watermelon din, no? But ang kwento nila before is that before GMO, no, before biotechnology, no, ang bago yung understanding nun is that yung watermelon hindi daw siya edible, no? As in, hindi daw siya matamis, no? Pangit yung tsura, no? Unlike sa mga yields ngayon, no? Yung mga modern watermelons, no? Ano talaga sila? Red na red, no? Matamis, no? So yun, no? Through the application of understanding chemistry and biology, you are able to produce crops that are edible and nutritious as well, no? That's the increasing demand on food staples, no? Kasi dumadami sa universe, eh. Sa mundo lang pala, no? Before, ilan lang tayo dito sa mundo, mga a few billion people, no? Mga 1 billion. But ngayon, we are approaching 8 billion, no? So 8 billion people with a limited land, no, to use for agriculture. Kasi yung iba, ginawang camellia homes, no? So yun, we really need to use science, no, to address the issue on how can we produce crops, no? How can we produce better crops, no? Given na umuonti yung space for agriculture. So yun nga, GMO yung sagot, no? So hindi siya bad thing. So doing ourselves then, no? So yun. So yan, chemistry affects us sa food, no? Even the fertilizers, no? The fertilizers are products of chemistry, no? That your inorganic substances can do to your plants, no? So yun, so when you add metals, when you add nutrients to your soil, mas nagiging stronger yung plant, mas nagiging mabunga siya. Okay? So yan. So as long Sige, naka-prompt. Ayun, no? Apologize for that, no? I apologize for that, apologize. Nalulutang na ako dito, ang init eh. Apologize for that, anyway. So, yun, so, food, no? Yun, we can make food through the help of chemistry, no? We can increase the supply of food, no? We can also produce more edible fruits, no? Through the help of chemistry, no? So, yan. So, salamat sa chemistry, may pagkain tayo sa bahay. Clothing, no? So, I'm sure familiar kayo with the spandex, no? No? Yung mga ganong damit, no? So, yung mga ganong damit, mga spandex, mga gawa sa nylon, no? So, with the understanding of the chemistry of some molecules, no, you can actually produce plastics, no? Na pwede rin gawing damit, no? Such as nylon, no? So, nylon is used in clothes, no? So, paano yun ginagawa? To make nylon, you only have to mix adipic acid with, I don't know kung ano yung isa, no? So you just mix the two ingredients, and then you produce a string of nylon, no? And you can weave that, no, to form clothes, no? And kasi before, yung clothes natin, they are purely made of cotton o kaya ng abaka, no? Pero yun nga, ang problem with our population is yun nga, maraming demand, no? Mataas yung demand for those materials, pero onti yung supply, no? Onti yung mga materials to do to make clothes, no? So yun, so we look for alternatives, and yun, through chemistry, we are able to arrive with something such as nylon, no? Bilang damit, no? So yun. So, thank you ulit kay chemistry at may damit tayo. What else? Buildings, no? So, for buildings, more on ano naman to, no? More on the industrial production of cement, no? So, before walang cement, no? What the Egyptians use is clay, no? Yung clay from the Nile River, no? They shape it into cubes and pinapatong-patong nila to form the pyramids, no? But ngayon, hindi na ganun, no? So, we use cement, no? So, paano ginagawa yung cement, no? So, you have your, your mineral, no? Your calcium carbonate. You do chemical reactions in it, no? Para siya ay maging calcium oxide, which is used in cements, no? So, yun. So, by doing chemical reactions, may building ka na, no? So, not literally, pero one step of making buildings is to make the products necessary for that building. And yung products na yon, yung mga materials na yon, na kailangan for buildings, no, ay kaya ibigay ng chemistry as well. No? Our body, yun nga. So, our body, no, our existence rely on several biochemical processes, no? The famous of which is the glycolysis, Krebs cycle, electron transport chain, the cellular respiration, no? Photosynthesis pa, no? So, alam natin yung mga ganung bagay, no? Why? Because we understand chemistry, no? We understand that this molecule, when it enters the cell, no? When the sugar molecules, it enters the cell, no? It is being cut into several pieces by different chemical reactions, producing energy, no? Which will make our lives possible, no? And without the understanding of that, no, siguro we will not come up with modern medicines, no? So, walang understanding ng medisina if we do not understand chemistry, no? So, yan. Siguro kung walang chemistry dati, no? Siguro ang gamot natin sa COVID-19 is magsusunog ng mga witch, no? Kasi ganun dati, 'di ba? In the old times, no, they burn witches daw, no, to drive off the evil spirits that causes sickness, that causes plague, no, in their society. But no, that's not the case, no. Hindi na tayo naniniwala sa folklore. Instead, we understand all the processes that happens in our body. And that gives us an idea on nagsusunog po sila paniki. Kinakain pa nga yung paniki, di ba? Magkakain ng paniki kadiri. And so, with the idea, no, on how chemical reactions in our body happen, no. So, since alam na natin na this molecule causes this, no, then we are able to make medicines, no, and vaccines, no. So, yun. So, salamat po, chemistry at buhay kami, no. Pero this semester, no, we will make sure that chemistry ay ma-appreciate nyo sana, no? Kasi medyo mahirap siya. Pero hindi naman talaga mahirap, no? Ano lang, chill lang. Depende siguro sa experience nyo sa chemistry, no? Yeah, so, basta yun. Yung idea ko lang is, yun nga, mukhang ano, di ba? Mukhang chemistry is everywhere nga, no? Parang kahit saan, andun siya. So, yun. So, if it tries to explain everything, then it must be something that is more complex, no? Pwede. Yun. So, yun. So, medyo maraming trivia na malalaman tayo as we progress towards the end of the semester. Magkakahalo-halo na yung mga concepts sa isip natin. Pero yun, no? We will try to make our learning process smooth, no? Para sulit yung tuition fee ninyo. So, yun. So, yun lang. Ba't kailangan uli mag-aral ng chemistry? Kasi lahat ng products sa paligid natin ay gawa sa chemistry, no? So, yan, no? So, ito lang din yung mga pinagsasabi ko kanina, no? So, yun, in the health and medicine field, no? We're able to make vaccines, we're able to make medicines because we know how our body reacts to certain molecules, no? Ayun. For example, may hypertension, no? So, anong iniinom pag may hypertension? Beta blockers, no? Then, the question is, ano yung gagawin ng beta blockers sa hypertension? So, alam ni chemistry, alam ni biochemistry, that this beta blockers attacks this certain receptor and that allows the ganito-ganyan ng blood vessels, no? So on and so forth, no? So, marami yung to discuss, no? Basta, that's the idea, no? So, yun. So, without the understanding of that, marami nang nawala siguro, no? So, thank you uli chemistry at may gamot kami sa bahay, no? Energy. Ito something na siguro, may chemistry doon. Meron po, no? Remember, the Philippines is reliant, no, on natural gas and coal to produce electricity, no? So, hindi tayo katulad ng ibang bansa na may nuclear energy, no? Pero may chemistry doon sa nuclear, ha? Nuclear stuff, no? Pero anyway, punta muna tayo energy production. What happens is that you just burn your substances, no, such as natural gas or coal, no, and those molecules are broken down. They release heat, no, which is being converted from heat energy to electric and sa online class or your tablets or your cell phone, no. So yun. So may chemistry pala doon. Meron po, no. So ulit, salamat chemistry. What else? In our photovoltaic cells, what are photovoltaic cells? Yun yung mga of electrons naman, no? Kunwari, ito panel ka, itong calculator, sa ting araw, no? When light particles, photons, no? When light particles hits the electrons on the surface of this solar panel, kunwari, no? Pag tinamaan yan ng electron, what will happen is that the electron will get excited. So, tatalon siya. So, as it jumps into higher unstable state, no? Before it falls, no? Papunta sa much stable state, no? Iikot muna siya sa isang circuit, no? And remember, sabi sa physics ninyo, when electrons are moving around the circuit, you have electricity, di ba? So, that's why we have solar energy, diba? So, yun. May chemistry pala doon. Meron po, no? Ang galing naman. Ay, salamat chemistry. No? So, yun. Thank you for making our lives less miserable, no? Technology, no? Your computers, your cell phones, no? Even this calculator, no? It won't function kapag wala siyang semiconductors or mga processors, no? So, yun lang, similar with the photovoltaic cells or the solar panels, no? Ina-apply yung idea dito ng chemistry, no? Yung behavior ng electrons, no? Pag nag-jump yung electron, that corresponds to a certain binary number, pwedeng 1. Pag hindi nag-jump yung electron, edi 0 yun. So, pag nag-jump, 1. Pag hindi, 0. So, magkakaroon tayo ng binary codes, di ba? So, 1010 something something. And that is being processed by the microprocessor, no? It understands, no, kung ano yung nangyayari sa device, no? Hence, we have this modern technology ng mga laptops, no? So, itong mga nakikita natin ay itong mouse na gumagalaw sa screen nyo. Ayan, no? Ayan, gumagalaw ng mouse sa screen nyo. Yan ay electrons lang na tumatalon, no? Na iniintindi ng microprocessors, no? So, may chemistry doon. Meron, no? So, wow, no? So, yan, no? Ang daming chemistry, no? Ito yung food and agriculture, alam yun na yan, no? So, sabi natin kanina, we use modern approaches, no, to produce modified organisms that can give us better yield in terms of the crop size, no? Ang dami ng food, no? Kasi ang dami ng tao sa mundo, no? Sobrang dami ng tao na kailangan natin ng mas maraming food. So, without doing that, no, siguro nag-aagawan na tayo sa isang sako ng bigas, no? Ganun, no? Kaya tumaas na yung presyo ng bigas, no? So, yun, no? So, salamat chemistry for making our lives less miserable, no? Eto ngayon, no? What are the branches of chemistry? Kasi as you can see, no, parang ang dami namang ginagawa ni chemistry, no? Kaya niya ba yung mag-isa lang, no? So, hindi, no? Actually, chemistry exists as 5 personas, no? Okay? 5 personas, no? Ano yung mga iba't ibang versions ni chemistry? So, we have biochemistry, organic, analytical, inorganic, and physical chemistry, no? So, let's go, no? And have an idea about them one by one. No? So, number 1, organic chemistry. So, when we say organic chemistry, this is the chemistry that is focused on carbon-based compounds. No? So, it understands what are the reactions of this molecule. For example, yung vitamin C na yan, marami yung carbon. No? So, it understands the behavior of different carbon-containing compound molecules, no? Sa pag-produce ng energy or creating products, no? So, ano yung nangyayari? Bakit nabubuo yung energy from glucose, no? So, yun. Si organic chemistry yung bahala dyan, no? What else, no? We can also make products, no, with organic chemistry. For example na lang, yung mga plastic, no? Mga plastic, no? They are made from carbon compounds, no? Especially those with the double bonds, no? In the future, malalaman nyo yan, don't worry, no? So, yeah, so what we do there is that we try to see if we are able to form long chains of molecules, no, from those double bonds, from those molecules containing double bonds, no. And pwede naman, no, we call that process the polymerization, okay. So when our molecules polymerizes, we form long chains, no, and then yung long chains na yon, we can use them, no, to form plastics, no, nylons, yung mga damit natin, no, so on and so forth, no. So yun lang. Ang dami niyang ginagawa, no? So, thank you chemistry. Thank you organic chemistry para sa mga plastic, no? Existence ng mga plastic materials. Materials na. So, I'm not pertaining to persons, ha? So, yun. Okay, so thank you OrgChem for this plastics. Kasi alam niyo, no? Before the concept of plastics, balikan natin, no? Ang ginagamit ng mga tao is aluminum cans for bottles, no? Glasses, no, for water storage, and paper bags, no. Pero yun nga, no, paper bag, for example, lalagay mo yung karne sa paper bag, niluto mo yun, edi may papel-papel pa, di ba? So, ganun yung mga issue kasi dati, no? They are trying to look for storage, no? That will not destroy their materials, no? Or their products, no? For example, yung karne, lagay mo sa papel, mamaya humalo na yung papel doon kung ano pa mangyari sa tao, no? So, they made plastics, no? But then nga, we are now facing crisis, no? Concerning plastics. So, hopefully, chemistry will find better ways, no? To address the issue, no? So sana may makita tayong pansira sa mga plastics din. Okay, so yan. Inorganic chemistry. So this is the counterpart of your organic chemistry, because if organic chemistry studies molecules, na may carbons, dito naman yung mga walang carbons, not really walang carbon, yung mga hindi organic, Okay, so yun. So it tries to understand how crystals are formed, and with the understanding of those of the crystal formation, the energy that the energy processes that they do, sa mga ganung bagay, we're able to form catalysts, superconductors, and even medicines, So, bigyan natin ng example yung inorganic chemistry ninyo. So, catalyst, So, kung may car kayo, tanungin niyo yung papa nyo, asan yung catalytic converter? For sure, alam niya yun. Dapat alam niya yun, So, what's the purpose of catalytic converter, So, the purpose of catalytic converter is to allow the full conversion of the toxic carbon monoxide to carbon dioxide, So, it allows a much easier pathway for that reaction to happen. So, didikit lang yung carbon monoxide dun sa catalytic converter, then magiging carbon dioxide na siya. May chemical reaction na nangyayari sa surface na yan. So, that is made possible by inorganic chemistry. Superconductors. Superconductors, semiconductors, they are used in technologies, such as your computer, supercomputers, so on and so forth, So yun, imagine life without inorganic substances. Wala tayong computer, Walang pang Valorant, walang pang LOL, Walang pang Among Us, walang pang ML, So yun, medyo malungkot yung life without inorganic chemistry. So yan, so thank you INORG for creating materials that we use in our technologies, So yan. Biochemistry, from the word itself, bio means life, chemistry, the chemistry, So this is life chemistry. So it understands, how life is possible, and what is the chemistry behind that, So yun nga, for example, kumain ka ng merienda kasi alas 3 na pala. Ayan, kunwari, kumakain ka na ng merienda sa likod ng camera natin. So, it understands kung ano nangyayari sa food mo. It is being broken down into much smaller pieces, through the help of enzymes, So, una daw nangyayari, your carbohydrates, malalawayan mo siya, And your saliva contains amylase, that breaks down carbohydrates into smaller fragments, Yung polysaccharide mo nagiging oligosaccharide, Then the stomach, acids further cuts down all those molecules, Then eventually pagdating sa intestines magiging sugar molecule na lang siya, glucose, And when that enters the cell, it undergoes cellular respiration, wherein your glucose is converted to pyruvate, Then that pyruvate is used in Krebs cycle to produce acetyl coenzyme A, which is used in electron transport chain, producing adenosine triphosphates. So, ang daming nangyari. Yes po, maraming nangyari. And that is made possible by biochemistry. Balikan natin yung SARS-CoV-2. Are they able to identify the genome sequence of that molecules? Parang medyo biology na ayun, no? So, nagbabalik na naman, no? So, yun, balikan natin, saan na uli ako? Ayon sa SARS-CoV, no? So, how are they able to identify the genome sequence of the COVID-19 virus, no? Or the SARS-CoV-2 virus, no? So, ginawa nila, they destroyed the lipid bilayer, yung capsule ng virus, no? Yung hitsura ng canvas, parang ganun. So, yun yung yun yung shield ng virus. So, sinira nila yon. Then, yung mga single strand na RNA, no? They multiplied it, no, into many versions. Yung isa-isa nila tinignan yung mga nucleic acids na nandun, no? So, yun. Then yun, they discovered that there is a mutation sa virus, no? So, sabi nila, nagmutate si COVID. Ano na nangyayari sa Earth, no? So, yung the mutation later on was found to just increase the infectious rate of the virus, no? So, pinapataas niya lang yung infectious rate niya. So, mas maraming nai-infect, yes, no? Pero hindi naman siya nakakamatay daw so far. No? Dumadami lang yung cases, no? Yan. So, sadly, nangyayari na yun sa Philippines, no? We have that mutation already, no? So that was first found in Germany, no, and other European countries, no? And eventually nakarating siya sa Philippines, no? So ayun, no. So medyo sad, but yeah, hopefully matapos na tong pandemic na to. Okay. So yun na. So that's biochemistry, no. If you want to study how life is possible and what is the end of life, no, biochemistry kasi ito yung magbibigay sa inyo ng deeper understanding, no? It will give you the correlation of all the concepts in chemistry and all the concepts in your medtech courses, no? Pag pinagsama mo yan, no, biochemistry, mabubuo natin dyan, no? So yan, share ko lang, no? Analytical chemistry, no? So I think chemistry that is usually depicted in pictures, no? So in Anakem, what we do here is we do chemical experiments all the time, no? Why do we do chemical experiments? Because we want to characterize or we want to analyze matter. So how do we do that? We do analyzing our matter, no, on a qualitative basis, no, meaning yung ano itsura nila, and the quantitative basis meaning gano'n sila karami, no? So we can analyze the identity and the amount of your molecules or your atoms or your ions, no, present in a substance, no. So yun. So yun lang, no. So Anachem is more on like the investigative part of chemistry, no. Gano'n kaya karami yung ganito ganyan, no. Tapos yun. So si Anachem ang bahala doon. For example, sa field nyo, no, I'm sure gagawin nyo yung drug testing, no. So, pag nag-drug test, anong ginagawa doon? So, kunwari ako, kukunan ako ng blood serum. So, kukunan ako ng dugo, di ba? Then, yung dugo na yun, the analytical chemistry, no, siya yung sasagot na may drugs ba dito sa sample na to, no? So, paano ginagawa yon? So, we use the chromatography, no? Chromatography. So, sa chromatography, anong ginagawa doon, no? It separates molecules based on their sizes, based on their characteristics, no? Then, makikita mo doon yung mga individual molecules na present, no? If there is a peak, no, may reading for for a certain number, kunwari mga 500, ganito ganyan, no? And that corresponds to the drugs, no? Then, masasabi natin na nagda-drugs yung tao, no? So, positive siya sa drug test. So, ganun yung ginagawa ng Anachem sa medtech, no? So, yun. What else, no? Pare ako, nagpa-test ako ng blood, no? So, the last time I have my test, no? General test, no? Kasama yung urine, yung tae din, kasama, yung dugo, kasama yun, no? So, yun naman yung mga gagawin nyo rin sa future, no? So, you will need Anachem, no? For example, you want to determine the creatinine levels in my urine, no? we know that if we have increased number of creatinine in our blood, no, sa ating urine, it can form the gout, no, mga sakit-sakit sa kasukasuan, then pinakamalala na siguro yung mga kidney stones, no. So yun. So pag nakita nyo mataas yung creatinine, uric acid, no, so most likely you are at risk, no, of developing those sicknesses, no. So the question, how do we quantify those molecules, no? Anachem, no? So we use different instruments to identify the molecule and to determine how much of it is present, no, in your substance, no. Ang daming nangyayari, no? So thank you, Anachem, for counting molecules, no? So yun lang yung masasabi ko sa akin. The last one, physical chemistry. So physical chemistry, this is the chemistry that is medyo hindi kayo involved dito, no? Involved dito ay mga physics and engineering, no? Because physical chemistry is the study that governs the energy changes, no, sa molecules, no. It understands the flow of matter and the consequences of that matter flow, no. So yun, para siyang physics na chemistry, no. So this is actually one of my favorite kasi maraming math, no. Although hindi ako magaling sa math, wala lang, ang dami mong pinipindot sa calcio, di ba? Inisip ko pag nagpipindot ako sa calcio dati, uy, chemist na. Ayan. Tapos ngayon ayoko na. So yun. So this is more on math, no? So, saan nagagamit si physical chemistry kung ganon? Sa production ng energy, no? Sa batteries ninyo, there's a physical chemistry there, no? Remember that electrons are moving in your batteries to power your devices, no? So physical chemistry understands that, no? So alam niya that this electron will move from this point to that point, then yun, makuryente. So yun, no? So thank you physical chem for the battery, no? So yun, in medtech, ano yung important? So you are the one who are going to do analysis, no? Kami analysis din kami as a chemist, no? Ako, although I do not practice my profession sa laboratory talaga, no? I chose teaching, no? Kasi chillax lang yung teaching. Gaya ngayon, nakaupo lang tayo dito sa laptop, no? So yun, no? Pero yun, no? So kaming chemist, we measure stuff, no? Pero hindi involved ang human samples, no? For example, yung mga urine, no? Kaya yung mga blood, no? So yung mga bagay na yun kasi medyo hindi na namin gamay yan, no? Alam namin yung concepts, no? We know the concepts behind this and that, but the practice, no? Kayo yung mga kings and queens doon, no? So you know how to deal with blood samples, you know how to deal with various types of samples. So binibigay na namin sa inyo yung karapatan, no, to analyze those stuffs, no. So kami more on the other side kami, no, not concerning human products, no. So kayo yung involved, no, sa pag-understand ng certain molecules na nakikita sa tao, no. So yan, you work in the hospitals kasi, no. So yun. Ito yung mga common tests na ginagamit ninyo sa medical technology, no. So yan. So you will be asked to test the sodium levels, no, potassium, chloride, glucose, so on and so forth. No, bakit kaya, no? Because depending on the amounts of these substances, that can tell you na, uy, baka may sakit to, no. So yun yung idea. For example, if you have increased sodium count, no, marami kang sodium atoms sa iyong katawan, that corresponds to hypernatremia disease, no? O kaya hyponatremia, hypokalemia, hyperkalemia, no? Sa glucose naman, diabetes, no? Diabetes talaga, no? So diabetes, no? Sa calcium, pag masyadong mataas yan, baka ano ka, no? Ano ba? So, hindi ako familiar with calcium. Ito yung creatinine, ito yung mga sa gout, so on and so forth. No? Drug testing, ito yung na-share ko sa inyo kanina. So, you are the persons na involved in analyzing these substances because you are skilled in dealing with human samples, no? Yung mga serum ng tao, no? So, kayo na yung bahala doon, no? Pero kami, no, we will give you the concepts behind all those studies, no? And yun, so eventually in the end naman, we will work hand in hand, no? Magkasama tayo sa pag-determine ng better ways, no, to cure diseases, no? Magkakasama din tayo to find solutions in health problems, so on and so forth, no? So yun. So I hope that introduction about chemistry, no, has given you insights, no, about the importance of chemistry sa medical technology. That chemistry is around us and it has to be understood, no, has to be understood for you, no, to for you to practice your profession very well, no? So kailangan alam natin yung chemistry because if we don't understand it, no, medyo mahirap na magiging buhay natin sa medtech, no? So with that, no, so may questions kayo? Any questions, clarifications, kahit anong questions, okay lang sa akin. Okay. May nag-leave na, no? Sige. Sige lang. Ayan. So do you have any questions regarding the subject matter or na-appreciate nyo naman si chemistry kahit paano, no? So I hope you really appreciate the importance of chemistry, no? Kasi yun nga, it is everywhere and it makes our lives possible, no? So yun, no? Ayun, baka may question kayo. Any ideas to share, no? Alam ko, mas marami tayong alam eh. So yun, so share na lang kayo ng kwento nyo sa life, no? Or okay naman tayo. Baka may gusto magsalita dyan or gusto mag-comment, no? Okay naman po ba tayo dyan? Hello?
Yes po, sir.
Okay. Ay, sige. Salamat po, no? Medyo mahirap sa online test din na. Ayun, no? Wala na. So anyway, so I hope you are able to get ideas, no? Kung ano ba importance ni chemistry and I hope na na-realize na yun nga, as much as possible, no? It makes our life easier, no? Bearable, no? Ganun, no? So, yun lang. So, with that, no? Ang activity ninyo sa akin ay ano, no? So, your task, no, for the rest of the time, no? Kasi ito lang naman gagawin natin sa part na to. So, I want you to go to your canvas, no? Ano, wala pa naman po question so far. So, salamat po, So, yun. So, as much as possible, I want you to engage sa classes, no? Para mas personal yung style natin. So, yun. So, your activity, no, for the rest of the class period naman, which is malapit naman tapos, no? So, for you to go here sa discussions and sa section yun. Section 27. Okay. May mga nag-comment na pero binura nila. So, anyway, you can comment pa naman, no? So, your activity for the rest of the time, no, is to relate the importance of chemistry in times of COVID-19, no? So, and how does it affect us, no? Kasi, ang life natin ngayon ay medyo mahirap. We are all struggling, no? Pero hopefully, in the future, okay na tayo, no? So your lecture activity is for you to find or to look for articles, no? Or any arguments, no? That can prove that chemistry is important, no? Yan. So, bakit important yung chemistry? You can write your opinions, no? About it and how it affects us all, especially in this time, no? Na may COVID-19, no? So, yun. So, you can give a paragraph or a few sentences, no? About your insights, no? Then, babasahin ko yan, no? Sir, hanggang kailan to? Until the end of this day naman, no? So, yun. So, pwede kayo mag-chat dyan. For example, this is my activity for section 4. So, yan, no? Yung mga essay sila. So, yan. So, yan. So, ito yung isang palaban, no? Si Matthew. Wow. May citation pa, no? So, huwag kayong magpatalo kay Matthew. May citation pa. So, that's very nice, no? So, this gives me an idea about sa inyo, no? So, yun. So, kung aware ba talaga tayo sa mga nangyayari sa paligid, so on and so forth, no? So, yun. So that's your final activity for this lecture part, no? For next meeting, ano ba gagawin next meeting? Yun nga, no? We will discuss atoms and the periodic table, no? More on the history side, no? So, kwento-kwento uli yan, no? So, yan. So, do you have any questions pa po regarding the activity?